The mid to late 1990s Seattle Mariners occupy a special place in Major League Baseball history, not only for their thrilling on-field achievements but for how they transformed baseball culture in the Pacific Northwest. Led by a charismatic manager in Lou Piniella, powered by a once-in-a-generation lineup led by Ken Griffey Jr. and anchored by one of the most dominant pitchers the game has ever seen in Randy Johnson, the Mariners of this era became perennial contenders and emotional favorites to reach the World Series. Though a championship ultimately eluded them, their combination of star power, resilience, and unforgettable moments cemented their legacy as one of the most exciting teams of the decade. For much of their early existence, the Mariners struggled for relevance, both competitively and financially. Playing in the cavernous, concrete-domed Kingdome, the franchise faced frequent rumors of relocation. By the mid-1990s, however, everything changed. A core of elite young hitters, complemented by veteran power and dominant pitching, transformed Seattle into a baseball hotbed seemingly overnight. Lou Piniella, hired as manager in 1993, brought intensity, accountability, and belief. Under his leadership, the Mariners evolved into a balanced team capable of overpowering opponents offensively while shutting them down with elite pitching. Piniella's fiery style resonated with players and fans alike, helping forge an identity rooted in toughness and resilience. The Mariners' offense during the mid-1990s was among the most feared in MLB baseball. At its heart was Ken the Kid Griffey Jr., whose smooth swing, defensive brilliance, and magnetic personality made him the face of the franchise and one of the most popular athletes in the world. In 1995, Griffey hit a .258 batting average with 40 home runs and 92 RBIs, missing time due to injury yet still delivering game-changing power. The following year, 1996, he elevated his production, batting .303 with 49 home runs and 140 RBIs, finishing second in the American League MVP race. In 1997, Griffey reached his peak statistical season, batting .304 with 56 home runs and 147 RBIs, leading the American League in home runs and RBIs while slugging an incredible .646. He followed that with another dominant year in 1998, batting .284 with 56 home runs and 146 RBIs, once again establishing himself as the premier power hitter of the era. Complementing Griffey was Edgar Martinez, one of the greatest designated hitters in MLB history. Martinez's disciplined approach and line drive power made him a nightmare matchup. In 1995, he hit .356 with 29 home runs, 113 RBIs, and a .628 slugging percentage, winning the American League batting title and delivering one of the most iconic hits in franchise history. Over the mid-1990s, Martinez routinely hit above .300, posted on-base percentages north of .400, and slugged over .550, providing consistency and clutch production. Tino Martinez added left-handed power and run production, particularly in 1995, when he hit .293 with 31 home runs and 113 RBIs. Jay Buhner, a fan favorite known for his toughness and right field arm, regularly contributed 30-plus home run seasons, including 40 home runs and 121 RBIs in 1996, while slugging over .550. A young Alex Rodriguez burst onto the scene late in the decade, showcasing elite athleticism and emerging power at shortstop. By 1998, Rodriguez hit .310 with 42 home runs and 124 RBIs, signaling the dawn of another superstar in Seattle and further deepening an already lethal lineup. Collectively, the Mariners consistently ranked near the top of the American League in runs scored, home runs, slugging percentage, and on-base percentage. Their offense was not just powerful, it was relentless, capable of grinding out at-bats and delivering late-inning heroics. The Seattle Mariners led the MLB in key offensive categories during the 1996 and 1997 seasons. During the 1996 MLB season, the Mariners led the major leagues in runs scored with 993, doubles with 335, runs batted in with 954, and slugging percentage with a .484 percentage. During the 1997 MLB season, the Mariners set a then Major League record for most home runs by a team in a single season with 264. They also led the MLB in runs scored with 925 and slugging percentage with a .485 percentage. The Mariners also hit 244 home runs, tying for ninth in MLB history at the time during the 1999 MLB season. While the Mariners' offense captured headlines, their pitching staff provided the backbone for sustained success. At the forefront was Randy the Big Unit Johnson, whose dominance in the mid-1990s was unparalleled. Standing 6'10" with a devastating fastball and slider, Johnson was virtually unhittable at his peak. In 1995, Johnson went 18-2 with a .248 ERA and 294 strikeouts in just 214 innings, winning the MLB Cy Young Award and finishing third in MVP voting. He followed that with a 19-4 record and .241 ERA in 1996, striking out 291 batters. Even in seasons shortened by injury, Johnson's strikeout rates and intimidation factor altered entire series. Chris Bosio provided a reliable veteran presence, posting strong win-loss records and ERAs in the low to mid-400s. Andy Benes added stability and swing-and-miss stuff, while David Wells delivered key performances before achieving later fame elsewhere. Together, they formed a rotation capable of matching up with any contender in the American League. The bullpen, anchored by effective late-inning arms, complemented the starters by protecting leads generated by the explosive offense. While not always flashy, Seattle's pitching staff consistently ranked among the league's best in strikeouts and opponent batting average. No season better encapsulates the Mariners' spirit than 1995, one of the most dramatic campaigns in baseball history. After trailing the California Angels by 13 games in August, Seattle mounted an improbable comeback, fueled by Griffey's power, Martinez's clutch hitting, and Johnson's dominance down the stretch. The Mariners finished 79-66 in a strike-shortened season, tying for the AL West lead and forcing a one-game playoff, which they won behind Randy Johnson. In the American League Division Series against the New York Yankees, Seattle delivered one of the most iconic moments in MLB history, Edgar Martinez's walk-off double in Game 5, scoring Griffey from first base and sending the Kingdome into chaos. Though they fell to the Cleveland Indians in the 1995 ALCS, the Mariners had already achieved something far greater: they saved baseball in Seattle. The magical run galvanized fan support, secured plans for a new stadium, and cemented the Mariners as a legitimate powerhouse. The Seattle Kingdome, often criticized for its aesthetics, became one of the loudest venues in baseball during this era. Fans packed the dome, waving signs, pounding thunder sticks, and creating an intimidating atmosphere for visiting teams. Media coverage exploded, with national broadcasts highlighting Seattle's comeback story, superstar talent, and passionate fan base. Attendance surged, and the Mariners became a cultural phenomenon in the Pacific Northwest. The team's success fostered a deep emotional connection with fans who had endured years of frustration and uncertainty. The mid to late 1990s Seattle Mariners asserted their dominance in the American League West largely because of the unmatched impact of Randy Johnson and Ken Griffey Jr., two superstars who consistently decided games on their own. Johnson, the tall, intimidating ace of the Mariners' pitching staff, was nearly unbeatable at his peak. One of his most dominant outings came on August 4, 1995, when he struck out 19 Detroit Tigers in a complete game victory, showcasing the excellent performances that propelled Seattle's division surge. Offensively and defensively, Ken Griffey Jr. defined Seattle's success. Griffey delivered countless game-changing performances, including a 3-home-run game against the New York Yankees in 1996, highlighting his elite power. In 1997, when he hit 56 home runs, Griffey routinely produced multi-RBI games that buried AL West opponents. Defensively, his highlight reel catches in center field, such as his full-speed wall-crashing grabs at the Kingdome, saved runs and shifted momentum. Indians, and Baltimore Orioles, using their powerful lineup and deep rotation to compete with the American League's best. Seattle was especially tough at the Kingdome, where their winning percentage soared and visiting teams struggled in the intense atmosphere. Pitching excellence helped lay the foundation for this dominance. A landmark moment came on April 22, 1993, when pitcher Chris Bosio threw the second no-hitter in Mariners franchise history against the Boston Red Sox, allowing no hits, no runs, and just 2 walks, while striking out 5 batters during a 7-0 win. That performance symbolized the rising confidence and pitching strength that soon fueled Seattle's mid-1990s supremacy. From 1995 through 1997, the Mariners won multiple AL West titles and consistently posted win totals in the mid to high 80s and 90s. They entered each season as legitimate World Series contenders, boasting a blend of star power, depth, and leadership that rivaled any team in baseball. Though postseason success ultimately fell short of a championship, the mid-1990s Mariners left an indelible mark on the sport. They redefined baseball in Seattle, showcased some of the greatest talents of a generation, and delivered moments that remain etched in MLB lore. The mid-1990s Seattle Mariners were more than a great team, they were a turning point. Through elite offense, dominant pitching, inspired leadership, and unforgettable drama, they transformed a struggling franchise into a beloved institution. Their achievements, highlighted by historic comebacks and superstar performances, continue to resonate as one of baseball's most compelling and influential eras.